So for this video, guys, we're going to look at X under as a cover 3 beater, one of my favorites when it comes to utilizing a route in the game. And that's that tight end route. He does an outside release. And what you're going to notice here is if you're on the right side, which is going to be the short side of the field, so if you're on the left hash, you want to flip it, this A route gets in a really tender spot of cover 3. If you ever watch any coaching videos or know the game, most people tell you when you're going against cover 3, you can't allow a seam route to allow your free safety to have to choose between the seam on the left and the seam on the right, right? So you're going to hear a lot of people, they're going to redirect the seams to the outside so that way the cover 3 outside player has an opportunity to help out. Well, what we're going to do here is utilize that concept with this outside release by the A receiver. Now, what I like to do is you can definitely keep the B on its route, but I do tend to put him on a comeback because I want to widen him out and give us a spot also to throw to cover 3 hard flats if the user takes this A route away. But basically what this is, and I'll just make sure you see it, we'll start off with cloud flats, is there's going to be a soft spot in between where the free safety is and the corner is on the right hand side, and if we pass lead it to the inside, he's going to get open. So watch this. He's going to do an outside release, and as soon as he passes that hook curl, you're going to be able to throw the ball right there, okay? Now, this has to be user defendered if they play cover 3, if they're not changing it to inverted coverage, okay? Now, what I want to show you here is that it doesn't matter if it's hard flats, curl flats, it's the same thing, right? Going to do the same thing here. And the Y, because he's on a streak, he's going to be the one that drives the free safety a little bit further back. You're going to see that you're going to be able to go ahead and throw it to the inside, and you've got yourself a really nice opportunity for this. If I was to put him on a streak, it's not going to work the same. I'll show you here. And that's the first thing I know a lot of people are going to ask, what, can you just do a streak? It's not the case, because what happens here with the streak is that if you try to throw it to the left of him right here, this guy is going to be able to get there. Why? Because we never pushed him to the left hash mark. The outside release gives you a little bit more time to make it. It's kind of almost like a delay. Plus, he gets a little bit more wide, right? So I want to make sure that you see that in this instance, right? So now, if they're in any type of hard flats and say the user goes ahead and covers the A, I'm going to use the user as that player right there, right? What you'll see here is that you're going to have that X and the B as a route. So this guy comes across, say they go ahead and they cover him there. Now you're going to be able to throw it to this player here. So that's why I like that player on the comeback as well. Say they're in cloud flats. The reason why I like this comeback as well is if you have a route runner that isn't very good, he's going to have a deeper comeback like I have with Ridley. He's not going to be a Julio Jones type route where if you see Julio Jones has got that tight route, he's not going to have that type of route, right? He's going to have more of a deeper route, right? Let's see what I just did here. So when you do that, you're going to be able to also beat your cloud flats. So if the user goes ahead and covers this A down the field, watch what happens here. This guy goes down the field, X comes across. Now you're going to see that guy's going to jump that, and you're going to be able to throw it to him. So just know that you do have that ability. I typically don't like to do that. I kind of like to throw it underneath. If I see that the player is covering the A all the way down the field, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw it to the X receiver, right? So this guy goes up the field. I'm like, okay, he's selling out there. I'm just going to throw it here because you're going to get the same amount of yards. It's just a safer throw. So I just want to make sure that you know that. But that's why I really like this play, is because of that outside release. Now, quickly, I want to show you that it's also in your 4 verticals. So if you're on the fly audible and you see, you know what, the 4 verticals is in there, all you want to do is redirect the Y, put them on a streak, put the X on an in. You got that same route combination. You can leave the B on that, but you're going to see that's going to have that same success that once he passes that hook curl, just pass lead it in, and you're going to be able to throw that ball pretty easily against your cover 3s. And trust me, that's going to open up a lot of plays for you underneath, because if a user is worried about having to cover that seam, he's going to have to really decide on who he needs to cover that as a user, or he needs to switch to inverted coverage. And, inverted coverages have a little bit less opportunity of covering the sidelines. And then, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to attack that way.